Hi there, Capricorns, and welcome to your shadow reading with me, Priscilla B. So, um, this is like a lot of uh, energy that is shifting right now. Timelines are shifting for you, Capricorn. You know, 1 minute you're like feeling great, you know, things are looking positive, and then the next minute you're dealing with, um, you know, the aftermath of um, people's attacks on you and the destruction that they've caused in your life. Um, okay, so um, that being said, I have a shadow work journal and guide book that we're going to be using. And all right, Capricorn. So, looking at your overall energies here, we are going to figure out what this shadow energy is trying to tell you, because I feel like it has a lot to do, Capricorn, with your past. So, there's some questions that we're going to ask. Okay. Says the past can affect the present and shape your future. It's important to understand and work through any past events that occurred in your life. What past events do you feel are affecting your life today? Okay, Capricorn. So let's see what we have here. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. Wow. Yeah, Capricorn. I mean, obviously, Capricorn, like the Eight of Swords is not your ideal energy that you want, okay? But this is a shadow reading, and we're here to talk about the past events. So, the Eight of Swords, I'll just like know what the Eight of Swords means here. So, restriction, confinement, and self-imposed limitations. The figure in this card stands blindfolded with her hands tied, surrounded by 8 swords. However, if she were to remove her blindfold and take a step forward, she would realize that she is not as confined as she believes. The 8 of Swords encourages you to recognize that the limitations you face may be more mental than physical, and it's possible to break free from your self-imposed constraints. It signifies a time to confront your fears and gain mental clarity. Okay, Capricorn? So, on the reverse side of this, we have liberation, self-empowerment, clear vision. When reversed, the Eight of Swords may indicate liberation, self-empowerment, or gaining clear vision. It suggests that you are breaking free from mental constraints that have held you back, gaining self-confidence, and seeing a path to move forward. Reversed, the Eight of Swords serves as a reminder of your capacity to overcome challenges and the importance of self-belief and mental clarity. It encourages you to embrace your inner strength and the ability to navigate difficulties with a clear mind. Okay? And I feel like that's what your shadow is trying to tell you. It's like almost like you can look at this situation from your past as something that's restricting you, it's limiting you, it's constraining you, or you can liberate yourself. And I feel like you're leaning more toward liberating yourself, Capricorn. So, what is this effect, or why is this affecting me, and in what way? Okay. Ooh, we've got the Chariot. Okay. Wow, look at that. Chariot. Yeah. So, looking at the Chariot energy, okay, with this Eight of Swords. Um, okay, so the Chariot, um, this is all about willpower, determination, and victory. Okay, so once you let go of the restrictions that the past has put on you, now you're able to find the willpower and the determination towards a victory here. Okay, this card represents focused and disciplined approach to achieving your goals. The Chariot signifies a time when you harness your inner strength and drive to overcome challenges and obstacles. It encourages you to stay the course, maintain control, and continue on your path. With unwavering resolve, the Chariot card is a symbol of victory, self-mastery, and the triumph of the human spirit. All right, so, I mean, you know, obviously that is going to be an overall positive effect on your life, okay, Capricorn. Um, so not really like a problem that's affecting you. It's more of like a solution that's affecting you, and it's like I feel like it's like slowly seeping in here. Even if you notice here, this like cup or chalice here, it's like I feel like this is like your holy grail, and it's like being carried in and like brought to you, delivered to you. So you have a clear direction here, Capricorn, of where you want to go. And let's see, how can I work through this to heal? Okay, because it looks like your shadow is like the part that you need to work on healing is staying focused on the direction you want to go, because the restrictions from your past are very embedded right now in your timeline and in your shadow energy. Okay, so what that means is the Queen of Cups, emotional intelligence, trusting in your intuition. I don't know why, but I feel like these cards are better read like this. Some of them. It kind of looks like an egg, and you have like snails here. Okay. Anyway, so it's just like, there's like a green goddess with like a sunflower for a head, and there's this big fish here. Okay. So there's a consciousness here that's awakening. Okay. In like the depths of your soul. Okay. A lot of dreams, a lot of like symbolism for emotions in dreams is water. Mainly, like, I feel like the ocean is a big one, a big common one, a big collective one. Okay. But there's also like, ponds, like frozen ponds. There's also rivers and streams, waterfalls. So there's like variations here. But I feel like there's like the Queen of Cups, like one hand is growing this like little seedling here, right? It's like little sprouting, it's sprouting. And then her other hand is like pointing down here to the fish. She wants you to grow and transform, but she also wants you to pay attention to the deep, to the subconscious. Okay? Because on the surface, yes, you can be growing. You're a beautiful flower. Your wings are, you know, sprouting here, right? Your little butterfly wings. But deep down, what is going on, right? So, the Queen of Cups is a great energy to expand on when it comes to how you can heal. Because the Queen of Cups is a loving, nurturing goddess of an energy. It's really empowering. It's really about emotional intelligence here. And I just feel like for you, Capricorn, your biggest concern with all of this new direction and all of this new release that you're having is, compassion for yourself, because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. So be more understanding of what you're going through. Don't be hard on yourself if you think you made a mistake or whatever. I don't think you are making any mistakes, Capricorn. I think you are really leaning in here to showcasing your compassionate side, while also maybe being a little bit too harsh on yourself at the same time. Trusting your intuition again. Emotional stability here is a big one with the Queen of Cups. This card signifies a nurturing and empathetic presence, often associated with someone who is deeply in tune with their emotions and possesses a keen sense of intuition. The Queen of Cups invites you to embrace your inner wisdom, trust your gut feelings, and offer support and understanding to others. It symbolizes emotional security, warmth, and a deep connection to the inner self. This card encourages you to lead with empathy and kindness, both for yourself and those around you. People who are not supporting your shadow work, who are not supporting your transformation, who are not supporting your changes here, they're going to try to exploit your empathy and kindness. And they're going to try and reverse that on you. And so what that means is they're going to be an emotional drain on you. Okay, they want to distract you from your goals and your new direction here. So you have to avoid that as much as possible here. Overly emotional people are going to try to make their way into your life, and you have to detach from that completely. It's not because you lack empathy or you lack kindness. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You're kind of doing a disservice to yourself and others if you're constantly letting in these emotional drains, because boundaries, okay, and I underline that for you, Capricorn, boundaries are the Queen of Cups, the biggest tool there that she uses. Just set the standards, just set to kind of just raise the bar a little bit to what is acceptable behavior, in our lives versus what is not acceptable behavior. And that's what the Queen of Cups wants you to remember. Okay? Because because you were, in the past being restrained and held back from your direction. Okay, so the Queen of Cups energy. All right, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm just writing down little bits and pieces of information to draw in the whole overall theme of your reading here. Okay, so when I talk about timelines shifting, okay, what I mean by that is there's this past version of yourself, and then we get into childhood memories. Okay, childhood memories etched into the subconscious can affect many things in life without you even realizing what the root cause is. Reflecting on your childhood memories is helpful. So we go into positive childhood memories which have affected your life. Okay, Capricorn, because the timeline here is that whatever was in your subconscious, deeply rooted and embedded in your subconscious as a child, is now starting to like manifest and like be seen in your current life, and how is that going to affect your future? Okay, so looking at your positive childhood memories, um, Nine of Cups, value, self-worth. Okay, I feel like figuring out like what you're good at and like where you can channel your emotions in like healthy, productive ways. So we're still staying in the realm of emotions here, and cups. Let's see. Contentment, wishes fulfilled, and emotional satisfaction. Okay. So overall, here it says, this signifies a period when your emotional desires and dreams have been met, bringing a deep sense of fulfillment and happiness. The Nine of Cups invites you to relish the pleasures and emotional abundance that surround you. It symbolizes the realization of your heartfelt aspirations and the joy of having your wishes come true. This card encourages you to appreciate the emotional bounty and share your contentment with others. Yeah. So, um, this is going to be important because what you're seeing here is that your wishes are coming true. Okay, basically here. In your past, you were in your childhood memories, you saw wishes coming true, like, you know, Christmas time, you know, getting Christmas presents. It was a big one, I feel like, for some of you. Or maybe it was, you know, like dressing up and putting on plays with your siblings, or, you know, a group of friends, you know, going on a trip together and just like having so much fun doing that. And um, it really like symbolizes how you know that there is this like positive energy out there in the universe that like you're able to experience on an emotional level. And I think it does bring you a lot of emotional satisfaction and value to your life, because I think you put a lot of worth um, into the time and energy you spend on making your wishes come true and filling your cups with all that positivity. And even not just one cup, but many cups. So, you know, think of like big families, lots of siblings, a circle of friends, you know, just like a whole group of like different people with all this like positive energy, and you guys just want to share in that experience together. Okay, and that is something really special from your childhood. And then we have what feelings are associated with these positive memories. Well, we got the Nine of Cups, so we already are in like the realm of feelings here. Oh my God, and then we got the Six of Cups. So more cups. Okay. Um, so the Six of Cups. What is the Six of Cups? I forgot. Oh. Okay, this is nostalgia. Oh my God, this is childhood. Okay. Innocence, connect with the past, Capricorns. This card signifies a return to simpler and more innocent times, often associated with cherished childhood memories or connections to your roots. The Six of Cups invites you to embrace a sense of childlike wonder, reconnect with your past, and share experiences with those who hold a special place in your heart. It symbolizes the need for a sentimental and joyful journey down memory lane. This card encourages you to appreciate the purity of your feelings and to honor your past while moving forward. And now in the reversed, it also suggests letting go. Like there's like a couple different like like pasts here. Like there's like your current past that's like, you know, 5-6 years, or, you know, maybe six is the number here. I'm like, hello, maybe it's like 6 months, 6 years, 6 weeks. That number could be very significant for you. But then there's like, go back even like, you know, longer than that, double that even, right? Like maybe it's 12, right? Maybe it's like even beyond that, right? So it's time to release attachments that no longer serve you, past memories or child influences that no longer serve you. um So I feel like the positive stuff that you're thinking about, I think that is what your shadow energy is trying to like relay to you. It's like, yeah, there's a past that was like very like destructive and like Eight of Swords and restrictive and all this like negativity that was blocking you from your vision. But then what about before that happened? You know, like where, let's go back and see what before that happened, what were you feeling like? What were things better, you know? And um there's just like comparing. I feel like your shadow energy is like trying to get you to like compare, you know, these different past experiences and which ones were good and which ones were bad. Because if you're staying in that energy where things were bad all the time, you're not going to be able to move past it and focus on the good again. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to look at that, you know. Um, Nostalgia, yeah, and innocence. And then we have here negative childhood memories which have affected your life. Okay, so there's like the positive side and there's the negative side. And I really feel like, you know, if we explore the negative a little bit more, we'll get a better, clearer understanding of the Eight of Swords energy that came out right away. So we have the Page of Swords. Okay. So I already know I'm going to have to read the reverse on this because it's kind of like the upside down version. There's the positive version and then there's like the negative version. So, Page of Swords. We have on the positive side, curiosity, new ideas, intellectual pursuits. That is what you are trying to channel in, with this like these memories of your past of like being with a group of friends, having a good time, special holiday events where wishes were being fulfilled. Um, you know, I think about like this could be this is gonna be kind of random, but I think about my past childhood memories of like putting on plays, um, on like with my siblings when we were kids. You know, putting the costumes together, the script together, you know, the production set, all of it, right? And it was just like such a fun experience for me. Um, So, but then you compare that to like a negative current experience that you're facing, um, still technically in the past because I guess it's like it didn't happen today or whatever. But like yesterday, for instance, could be is your past technically. And you could have had a really bad day yesterday because you could have received a bunch of messages, you know, about something bad, horrible, or whatever, right? So now we're looking at um, what this means, and it says a time when you or someone around you is eager to explore new intellectual horizons, engage in critical thinking, and embrace a quest for knowledge. The figure in this card stands with a sword held high, ready to face intellectual challenges and seek out fresh perspectives. The Page of Swords encourages you to approach problems with an open, inquisitive mind, remain adaptable, and explore new ideas. It signifies a time of intellectual growth and learning. So none of that is like inherently like negative, obviously. It's all actually like really positive. But because we're dealing with facing the negativity and addressing it, We have hasty actions, carelessness, lack of preparation. It suggests that there may be a tendency to rush into decisions without considering the consequences or act impulsively. The Page of Swords serves as a reminder to slow down and think before you act and be prepared for intellectual challenges. It encourages you to avoid being hasty and to approach new ideas with careful consideration. Yeah, so you do have a lot of like new ideas, okay? And there's a lot of like creativity here. Just like being patient, like don't rush, I feel like is an important one. Because you want to be prepared for these like intellectual challenges. So yeah, it's not really like so much like something bad is here or whatever. It's just more of like, okay, well, now you have to deal with, I feel like there might be someone out there who's like ego is like trying to like start a conflict with you, and you're, because swords tend to lean more toward the like ego side of shadow energies and shadow readings. So I just feel like maybe that's what's happening right now. But we're gonna see right now. We're gonna see what's going on here. What feelings are associated with these negative memories? There we go. So now we're trying to take a look here at like what these feelings are. Okay. Five of Swords. Yep. Okay. So the Five of Swords, conflict, defeat, unfair, victory. So you just went from having a victory, right? Being able to handle things with emotional intelligence from the Queen of Cups. Now you're really like honing in here. You're zoning in here. You're zoning in here. So you're like really like pinpointing here what the problem is. And the problem is this like this constant conflict. Okay. Like another word for it could be drama. Like somebody's like stirring the pot here, causing drama where there's no need or necessity for it, but yet they're doing it anyway, like because of the egos and all of that. The Five of Swords encourages you to be aware of the consequences of victory achieved at the expense of others and to consider whether the cost of winning is worth the price of damaged relationships. Yep. Like this card symbolizes a situation where there has been a disagreement, quarrel, even a battle, resulting in one party feeling victorious while others are left feeling defeated. The central figure in this card holds three swords, signifying a sense of power and control over the situation. However, the atmosphere is tense and tumultuous. The Five of Swords encourages you to be aware. On the other side, though, we have resolution, reconciliation, and release. Okay, so it's definitely conflict, defeat, unfair victory. Like, I think some people are getting like a rise out of like constantly like questioning your victories, questioning your authority, questioning your boundaries, questioning your intelligence, Capricorn. They're always coming in and attacking in an attack mode. And for you, the resolution and the reconciliation and the release, again, emphasis on the release here, is it suggests that there is an opportunity to mend relationships, resolve disagreements, or let go of the tensions that have been present. The Five of Swords serves as a reminder to seek peaceful solutions, practice forgiveness, and work towards healing any emotional wounds caused by conflict. It encourages you to find a path to mutual understanding and cooperation. Exactly. So, like, you're always open to, like, working through things and finding resolutions, but those boundaries that you have been gifted with, and you've worked very hard to receive, those aren't up for debate or discussion, Capricorn. And that's where you're meeting, this negative energy, because this negative energy doesn't want you to have boundaries. That's your past coming back to haunt you. Okay, that's that past that's like, you don't deserve to have peace, you don't deserve to have respect. That is your past trying to haunt you, trying to attack you. Now, if you have another separate conversation with your friends, your family members, whoever this victory, nostalgia, happy memory, childlike memories, whatever that energy, right, that you're in, that you're feeling, that's where you want to stay. Okay. And you aren't going to just like, sacrifice that anymore. So just to what? Just to like be attacked again and again repeatedly? I mean, come on now, right? That's not what this is about, right? This isn't why, we do shadow work. This isn't why we like sit down and figure resolutions out, right? So, yeah, moving forward, I feel like releasing, past relationships that have hurt you, and, haven't taken accountability, is, um, the biggest like takeaway that I'm getting from this. How did these events shape you as a person and your life today? Okay, now we're getting somewhere here. Okay, so we have the Two of Discs, balance and harmony, the scales of justice. So I know it doesn't look like scales, but it's really about like that, that harmony, okay, and that like equal give and take here, okay. Um, so yeah, adaptability, balance, and juggling priorities. Exactly. So we're really getting into like the nitty gritty here, of the shadow realm and of this timeline here, because it looks like you have, gone back and forth with these two ideas or these two concepts of like, wow, do I let people who are constantly hurting me and restraining me and causing me conflict and causing me harm, do I let those people into my life so that they can, and let them continue with this? Or do I hold them responsible? Do I have them take accountability before I let them back in again to build trust again, right? And it looks like when you do set those boundaries and you do set those standards, it looks like it's much easier for you to balance out the different, challenges and obstacles that you have, and the different priorities that you have and responsibilities that you have in your life, Capricorn. Because you don't have a responsibility, and you don't owe anybody, your space and your peace. You don't have to sacrifice your peace, and your happiness, for people that, you've given many opportunities, to show their care and their love for you, and in many different ways, in fact, too many ways, I would say. I mean, Capricorn, you love, you emanate love, and you emanate this wonderful beauty out into the world, Capricorn. But at times you give away so much of that to people who don't deserve it. And it's because they try to control and manipulate you. And that's how the Eight of Swords even like ended up in your whole entire atmosphere here, energetic field here, okay? But we're releasing that, and we're moving on. We're moving past that, okay? And we're setting standards now, and we're setting the tone for what's to come next, okay, Capricorn? So yeah, we're going to get into this like Two of Pentacles. Yay. So yeah, Capricorn, this Two of Pentacles is all about, you know, a time when you can successfully navigate life's challenges by remaining flexible and maintaining a sense of balance. Okay. So that's like, you know, you're finding your harmony, you're finding your balance right now. Okay. I think it's like gonna be a little bit like dicey. It's gonna be a little bit tricky to find that balance right now, because I feel like right now it's a lot of work for you. There's like no work-life balance happening for you right now. So what steps can you take to come to peace with these events and memories and find some of that balance and harmony? The Page of Wands. A doorway is opening for you here, Capricorn, a portal, a light at the end of the tunnel for you. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Knight of Wands. Wow, so we've got the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Okay. So these two energies are going to be what helps you moving forward. So looking at this Page of Wands and this Knight of Wands. Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. I'm liking the Wands energy because, you know, it's like it's a new perspective. I feel like it's a new energy for you. But it is still something that connects to your past. So it's like that sense of nostalgia where it's familiar but new at the same time. Like, I guess that's what nostalgia is, I don't know. Anyway. But it's enthusiasm, exploration, and new opportunities. And then energy, adventure, and ambition. So your Knight of Wands is bringing in the energy, the adventure, and the ambition that you need to keep this balance going. And the Page of Wands is bringing in the enthusiasm, the exploration, and the new opportunities. Okay, it symbolizes a time of curiosity and a willingness to take risks in pursuit of your dreams. Okay, so you are willing to take risk. Okay, and I feel like the risk is going to be like so rewarding. And the Knight of Wands encourages you to seize opportunities, act on your impulses, and charge forward with unwavering determination. It symbolizes a time of passionate pursuit and taking bold actions. Okay, so you're combining your dreams with your passions and charging forward, which is the same energy as the Chariot. The Chariot was all about releasing and letting go and charging forward. And yeah, I mean, you have this unwavering determination, and you know, it seems like you were dealing with like some hesitation before, and you were dealing with some of that sort of like a block, right? But really what's coming through here is that your boundaries are what's blocking out all the negativity that's keeping you from your dreams, keeping you from your passion. So as long as you're channeling in those boundaries, like that's the new balance you need to start incorporating. Boundaries, passion, creativity. No more negativity trying to resolve everything. Stop trying to balance that out. Start balancing out, okay, boundaries, 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 creativity, passion. The more boundaries you put up, the more creative flow and passion comes through for you. Okay, Capricorns? So that's my message for you, beautiful souls. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching, and take care now. Bye.